Hello, welcome back. Well, I do hope that this is a good connection. Everything seems fine my end. So today we have got a really interesting chat because we're going to be talking about a really common skin issue, and that's rosacea and sensitive skin, often made so much worse with this really dry cold weather and the iciness and the cold blasts that are outside. So I'm going to be talking to a fab female founder, Sarah Morrell, who started a brilliant skincare brand called By Sarah. And yes, of course, we do have a lovely Liz Loves that goes with that. And it's really interesting because they use high strength, very pure, potent formulations for super sensitive skin, great as we age. So we'll get Sarah in the house in just a moment. The website, if you want to go and check it out, is bysarahlondon.com. There is a 10% Liz Loves discount, so I'm sure that the things that we talk about are going to be super interesting. Actually, no, I made a mistake. It's 20%. Wow. Super generous. So let's see if we can get Sarah in the house. She will be joining us shortly. Now, I have been using this for the first time. It's their Saviour Moisture Mask, and it is absolutely phenomenal. It's got a really special grade of hyaluronic acid, medium grade hyaluronic acid, and it's this lovely lightweight gel. One pump is literally all you need. I used it earlier just as I was getting ready, and I actually thought, do you know what, my skin's really dry and mature, I'm going to need more than one pump. So I used 2 pumps, and it was too much. You know, it did my whole face, my neck, I had loads left over. So I actually rubbed it on the back of my hands, because as we know, the hands are a key sign of aging, especially in the moment. At the moment, if you're outside and you're working, you know, do wear gloves because they really do help to keep moisture in the hands. Hi, Julia. Nice to see you. Thanks for all the hearts. Yeah, if rosacea is an issue for you or dry, sensitive skin, then do please drop me a heart, leave me a comment. We'll get Sarah with us in just a moment, and hopefully she will be able to answer questions as well, because she has a really interesting backstory as a female founder, as how she came about with her sister to found By Sarah. And it is a multi-award winning skincare brand. It's really simple. It's stripped back ingredients. There's no fillers, no fragrances, nothing that's going to irritate and upset sensitive skin. Because we know that there's so much that can antagonize the skin, especially as we age. You know, I'm not just talking about hormonal changes, but it can be illness, it can be medication, it can be time of the month, so many different things, and of course the weather as well. So I do hope that Sarah is going to be able to join us. Now we've got Lainey on Facebook, so Lainey will be able to pop links to the things that we talk about, which will be really helpful. Obviously we can't link on Instagram, but what I do try and do is keep an eye on all the comments, and then any of the questions that come in, then feed those back to Sarah. And you can't actually see on Facebook or YouTube. We are going to look at that, see whether there's any way that we can do a split screen, but I think at the moment we can only do it on Instagram because I actually use 2 phones to do it. So hi, nice to see you again. Hi Lainey. I'm not going to add you onto Instagram, Lainey, just in case that is going to glitchy. Yeah, my skin is glowing. Okay, so what I did this morning was I just cleaned my skin, really, really simple, and then I used this, and that glow has come from the moisture mask. It's really extraordinary, and it's got aloe vera in it, and I'm sure Sarah will explain, but aloe vera is really good for helping with redness. So if you've got irritation, redness, sensitivity, pure aloe vera. I mean, back in the day, I used to use, neat aloe vera juice on my skin, because you can buy aloe plants and you can just cut the leaves and you can use that gel-like sap on the skin. Very good for burns as well, by the way, little minor ones if you keep a plant in the kitchen. Okay, so Sarah, let's hope that this doesn't disrupt anything if we have Sarah joining us to tell us more. Are you there, Sarah? Hello.
Hi, Liz.
How are you doing? Now, I have checked all my speeds, my upload and my download are top. How are yours?
Yes, all good here, so hopefully we'll be okay.
Now, I was just saying, I don't know whether you heard in the intro, but I was talking about, well, not just talking, I was actually raving about Moisture Mask and this medium weight hyaluronic acid that is just, it's like a gel with the aloe vera that just kind of draws moisture into your skin. It's just kind of like sucking all the goodness into your skin. Tell us about it.
Exactly. Well, it's a drink for the skin. That's how I like to think of it, which is just so fantastic for the winter months, particularly if your skin is feeling a little bit tight. You get a bit of tightness in the winter months.
Yeah.
So I love to enjoy this. Actually, I enjoy it. Oh, Liz, no, we're getting this comment saying you're pixelated again.
Oh, well, hopefully it will come back. So let's carry on, because you are clear, which is great. You're the main one. So
Okay,
tell us.
good.
And I'm fine
so
on Facebook and YouTube.
So I love to enjoy our Saving Moisture mask. I use it daily at the moment,
Okay.
and I use it as a mask. So I leave it on the skin for 10 minutes, then I rinse away. And the best way to enjoy it is always a thin layer onto damp skin, because you've got hyaluronic acid in there, which is a naturally occurring molecule within the skin. It's like a moisture magnet, but it always works best when you're applying onto damp skin. So you want to lock in as much moisture as possible.
Okay.
And then, as you mentioned, we've got aloe vera. So aloe vera is particularly soothing for any redness, any sensitivity. And if you are struggling with rosacea, which is sort of exacerbated by this winter chill, then you want something that's very soothing, is going to help replenish all the cell moisture.
Yeah, I was actually looking at your website, and you've got some super impressive information on rosacea and really interesting before and after photographs. I mean, you kind of look at them and think, is that genuine? Because the skin is really transformed. I'm sure it is, I'm not doubting.
No, they are. They're fantastic reviews. And, you know, what it's all about is opting for really cosseting, comforting ingredients. Because when you've got redness, when you've got rosacea, you've got sensitivity, that skin barrier has been compromised.
Right.
So we do so much research and scientific research daily to really find out what the skin is going to best respond to. And it responds so beautifully to plant oils that are rich in omegas. And as I say, it's really about strengthening that skin barrier.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about your journey, because By Sarah is not just any skincare brand. You started it out of a real need, didn't you, to help your sister? Tell us about that.
Yes, well, it was a bit of a traumatic beginning. So my sister Lauren was diagnosed with a very aggressive, very rare form of blood cancer. She had only a 20% survival rate, and her skin at the time really deteriorated through all the different types of treatment: radiotherapy, chemotherapy, total body irradiation. She had a stem cell donation, and I was her stem cell donor.
You were the donor, my goodness.
So it was a journey that we went through very much together as sisters. And I was working in the skincare industry at the time and wanted to do everything I possibly could to help my sister, because her skin was just becoming so ravaged by all the treatment, very sensitive, very sore, at times very uncomfortable. And there really wasn't anything that I could find that Lauren's skin could tolerate. I mean, even lots of the natural ranges that had essential oils in, Lauren's skin would absolutely flare to and react to. So it all began at the kitchen table when I began formulating my own blends for Lauren's skin, and never dreamed of creating a business. It was really for Lauren.
Really? That is just extraordinary, and I think I love that when you take something from the kitchen table and you scale it and you have such success with it. So what were the key ingredients that you realised would really help Lauren's super sensitive skin?
Well, the main piece of my research really started with plant oils. So all those beautiful ingredients like organic evening primrose, apricot seed, almond seed, which are so great for the skin. And because of their sort of their chemical composition and molecular structure, they very much mirror our own skin oils. And our skin just loves all the omega content, the vitamin content. So we now, even today, we do formulate the full By Sarah London collection primarily with plant oils, because they are so well received by the skin. So if you have skin sensitivity and you're looking for ingredients that are going to help prevent moisture loss, boost skin's elasticity, reinforce that skin barrier, then there's nothing better than taking it straight from nature, and that's what I'll be talking plant oils do.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that everybody here knows that I'm a massive fan of plant oils. In fact, my very first book, published 31 years ago this year, was called Vital Oils. It was all about plant oils, you know, both in the diet, with the oils that we eat, and evening primrose oil and all of those sort of supplements, and of course oils for the skin. Which leads us to talk just a little bit about your facial oil, because this is multi-award winning. I know lots of brands have facial oils, but this is really exceptional, and in the industry it's seen as a real leader, isn't it? So what oils have you put in here and why?
Well, a couple of things. So the first thing, there's no synthetic fragrance in here. There are no essential oils, so there are no ingredients that are known to irritate sensitive skin. Yeah. The other wonderful thing is that you've actually got a full ingredient list on the front label.
I don't know anybody else that does that. A full ingredient list on the front label. A full list. Not just picking out a few key actives, but this is everything is literally here. That's how pure and how simple and how gentle it is.
Absolutely. You know, transparency is so important. In the same way that we want to know what we're putting inside our tummies, we should know what we're putting on our skin. And that transparency was really important when I began formulating for Lauren, because she really wanted to understand what am I putting on my delicate, sensitive skin. So the facial oil has, as you say, it's become a real cult favorite because it's just such a beautiful blend. It was the first that I actually developed for Lauren's skin.
Really?
And your skin benefits from every single drop, because there's no synthetic fragrance, there's no added water, there's nothing in there to dilute the efficacy of those beautiful plant oils.
The goodness.
So it's actually been awarded Best Facial Oil 5 years in a row.
5 years in a row?
Best Buy. 5 years in a row.
That's amazing. Think of all that competition that's out there, and you win it 5 times. Slam, 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 slam. I mean, that is amazing, really. I mean, seriously, respect.
Thank you. I mean, I suppose it never came from a place of creating something that thousands of people would love. It really came from a place of how can I help my sister and create something that her sensitive skin will love and get a lot better, and she would also feel good in her skin. But it has gone on to help so many people with rosacea, sensitivity, psoriasis, eczema, and it's so delicate on the skin, so you can enjoy it morning and night. Easy to slot into your skincare routine, and just so delicate but so hardworking too.
So I can just see a couple of questions here coming up on Instagram. It's By Sarah that we're talking about. That's the brand. By Sarah London.
By Sarah London, yes.
And .com. BySarahLondon.com is your website. You've very generously given us 20% off on the products using Liz Loves, which is amazing. And these are award winners, remember. Can we just talk about what oils you decided to use in here and why?
Well, let's start with, what should we start with first? So Evening Primrose I love. It's one of my favorites. Organic Evening Primrose too. So you've got a really, really, really high quality Evening Primrose that's been grown in beautiful organic soil. And Evening Primrose is something that is going to help prevent moisture loss. So as we age, or if we've got a slightly compromised skin barrier due to sensitivity, we're quite prone to moisture loss. So we really want our skin to retain it as much as possible, because when it does, our skin looks glowing and bouncy and plump. So we want our skin to be able to retain moisture, and Evening Primrose is wonderful for that. You've got argan in here again, organic argan oil, which is another beautiful ingredient.
Yeah, it's one of the richest natural sources of vitamin E. I mean, I've been to Essaouira in Marrakesh where they produce it. It's amazing.
I would love to go. I would really, really love to go and see that firsthand. Incredible community of women, the Berber women. And then you've got organic pumpkin seed. Again, pumpkin seed is very good at helping the skin regenerate. It's going to support cell turnover. So you want our skins, naturally skin cells will renew every 28 to 40 days. We want to ensure that our skin is functioning at its best. It's getting rid of those dead skin cells, allowing fresh blood cells to come to the skin surface. And all in all, you've got a really all-rounded facial oil packed with omegas 6 and 9 and various minerals. But it's a bit like an everyday smoothie for the skin.
Now, talking about facial oils, I think some people might think, oh, you know, an oil, it's going to feel oily, it's going to make me break out. You know, what's your response to that with people who are a bit nervous about putting oil on their skin? Maybe if they've got combination skin or they're a bit oil prone.
It's understandable because it sounds a bit strange to put oil on oily skin, but actually it's such a myth. And when you're choosing plant oils in particular, an oily skin type, a sensitive skin type, a dry skin type will just love those ingredients. And what various plant oils such as evening primrose, almond, apricot seed, they have the ability to regulate how much oil the skin is producing and just to slow that down. So if you're oily prone, go for a facial oil. And the other thing to consider if you're oily prone is hydration. Because if you're oily prone and you're using products that are quite drying for the skin, you're going to need to replenish that moisture. So go for your Reviver Hydrating Mist with your Hero Facial Oil as your moisturizing duo. So you've got lots of hydration, lots of good healthy fats for the skin, and you'll have a very balanced skin complexion.
Now, something that you mentioned earlier that I want to pick up on as a question is you say no essential oils and no fragrances, which is very unusual in skincare, especially premium skincare like this. Let's talk about potentially sensitizing the skin, because I think a lot of people think, oh, essential oils, they're natural, therefore they must be safe for sensitive skin, but that's not the case, is it?
Well, we certainly found with Lauren's skin at the time, she was really intolerant to essential oils. That was one thing. And even today, many years after cancer treatment, her skin is still very sensitive. So she cannot tolerate essential oils, and many of our customers can't either. And it tends to be a typical trigger. Or synthetic fragrance. Now, I think, you know, sometimes it's lovely to have that scent in the bathroom and have that experience, but I think you can enjoy that without necessarily applying it to the skin. You know, you can put a few drops in your bath or burn a lovely candle, but I think when you're applying to the skin, you do need to be careful if you are a sensitive skin type about whether that could be a potential trigger for you.
And you know, particularly true I think with fragrance. I mean, one of the things I always say is that if you're sensitive to fragrance, or even perhaps even if you're not sensitive but are just worried about what you're putting onto the skin, is I actually put fragrance through my hair. So I'll actually spritz my hair so that, you know, when you go and hug somebody or, you know, give somebody a kiss, you still get that lovely scent and it sort of follows you around, but actually you're not applying it directly to the skin. Can we talk a little bit about rosacea, because that is such a common skin problem as we age particularly, and actually really never more so than now as we have such cold weather and icy blasts. We go outside and it's freezing cold. And, you know, we might, you know, our skin might be dry indoors because there's very little humidity inside. So what's your experience of dealing with rosacea? What are the things that we should be avoiding, and how can we best help it if we do have rosacea?
Yeah, so when it comes to your skincare, as I was saying, it's all about cosseting, comforting ingredients. So you really want to make sure that you've got a very healthy skin barrier, so it's not susceptible to irritation or irritants getting into the skin. Now rosacea can actually appear in many, you know, the symptoms do vary. Some people just have sort of red flushed cheeks, other people get small pustules in the skin which can sometimes be perceived as acne. For others there's a burning sensation or just general discomfort, and in the winter months it can all be exacerbated by the cold weather, there's the chilly winds, even foods can play a part.
Really?
So
Like which
what I
ones?
often say-
Which are the sort of food culprits?
Oh, lots. I mean, alcohol is a big one. Sugar.
Okay. Yeah, the usual.
Yeah.
The usual suspects,
Got
basically.
to be a little bit careful.
Okay. I mean, I remember I've actually written a book on dry skin and eczema, because I have eczema in my family, and that includes rosacea and psoriasis as well. So I don't know, Lainey, on Facebook, maybe you can pop a link to that, because that has got lots of information, and I completely agree with you. Taking out those skin sensitizers, and what we're trying to do, I guess, is just strengthen the skin's natural barrier to prevent that transepidermal water loss, so that our skin, even if it's sensitive, can still look glowy, can still look plumped up and smooth.
Exactly. And actually, really important will be your cleanser.
Okay.
So if you've got rosacea or even sort of eczema, skin is feeling quite vulnerable, then you want to use products that are going to nurture the skin rather than sort of aggravate it even more. So using a cleanser like our Balancer cleanser, you want something that won't disrupt the skin's natural pH.
Yeah.
So you don't want soaps, you don't want scrubs,
No.
you don't want anything with sulfates, no fragrance, just something that's going to be gentle but will still do its job of dissolving all the daily grime, dissolving all your makeup. And this is a great all-in-one cleanser. Actually, it does everything all in
It
one.
looks
even
quite a
mascara.
small bottle. How do you use it? Because I know that it's quite concentrated, isn't it? And in fact, we've got a comment here about saying that it's perfect for sensitive skin.
Oh, fantastic. Yes, so a little goes a really long way.
Okay.
So you can use it in a number of ways. You can either pour a little bit into the palm of your hand, or we've got a reusable pump, which I quite like for convenience.
Yeah.
The reason that we've actually gone with the aluminium cap and the glass makes this fully recyclable. And Sarah London is a B Corp, so sustainability is so important to us, as much as creating beautiful skincare is, but you can fully recycle this product. So pump a little bit into the palm of your hand, massage straight over your any makeup, any sunscreen you might have been wearing, and then favourite part, when you then splash your face with some warm water, it transforms into a cleansing milk. So you feel as though you're getting this really lovely clean, but it's not stripping, it's not aggravating, and it will typically last you about 3 months, which I did the maths the other day, and it works out at 47p per day. So that's great value for money.
Yeah, really good. And is it going to take off eye makeup as well? I mean, can you use it? Is it safe to use around the eyes?
Absolutely, and actually, I mean, much like the fall collection, we were always formulating with very sensitive skin in mind. So if you do get sensitivity around the eyes, and you do find that using eye makeup removers, micellar waters, they're quite drying.
They are really drying.
You can use this.
Yeah, I really agree. So your routine then would be cleanse, use your little lovely hydrating mist, and then would you use the oil, and how often would you use the mask? I mean, I have to say, having tried this earlier, for those who are late to the live, late to the party, it is so extraordinary. This is what I used just before. My skin just immediately got a bloom and a glow. One pump, and it has the aloe vera in it, doesn't it? As well as this medium weight hyaluronic acid. It doesn't feel sticky, it doesn't feel greasy at all. Your skin just glows. I mean, I can't rave about it enough, actually. And in fact, I used 2 pumps because I was a bit skeptical. I thought, my skin's so dry, I'm going to need extra. And I didn't need it. So I've been using it on the backs of my hands. And I'm actually really tempted at night just to pop a little bit on the backs of my hands, especially at the moment.
Absolutely, I think that's a great idea. Yes, I mean, again, a little goes a really long way. You only need a thin layer when you're popping your Stadium Moisture Mask onto your skin. But I do use this daily at the moment because my skin is prone to dryness, and I find it tough in the winter months to retain that moisture. So I really make sure I'm topping up with the Stadium Moisture Mask. I've got my sort of core everyday routine, which is the cleanser. Then you've got your mist, then you've got your oil. So 3 steps, couldn't be simpler.
Yeah.
And then topping up with your Save Your Moisture mask, and just making sure all the time that you're replenishing that moisture as much as you can. But that's the other wonderful thing about using plant oils and using a facial oil, is it's helping your skin all the time do its job of retaining moisture. It's preventing accelerated aging. We don't want to do anything that's going to just cause our skin to age prematurely. So really can't recommend enough using a facial oil in your routine.
And I think, you know, just to sort of close, when your skin is sensitive and it is disrupted with any kind of sensitivity, whether we're talking about dryness, rosacea, psoriasis, eczema, it can look so grey and drab because that inflammation, those dry skin cells, and they get aggravated by conventional skincare, and that just seems to sort of make the situation worse. I think the transformation, I think that's why people are so passionate about your range, and I have read the reviews online. They are really extraordinary.
Thank you.
You know, once you find it, you don't want to be without it, because it just solves so many problems for so many people who've got troubled skin.
Yeah. And we understand that, you know, because
that's where you came from.
Place.
Yeah, and I love the fact that you started it for your sister, and you didn't start it thinking, I'm going to start a global skincare brand. You know, you came at it from the heart, you know, really seeing a need and addressing it in the right way with genuine love and care for your sister. Before we go, how is Lauren? How's she doing?
She's doing really well, thank you. Yes, she's actually answering some questions I can see. She's Lauren at By Sarah London down there.
Oh, that's fantastic. So you're working together, you're building your brand now in good health, and that is just such a lovely, lovely story. Thank you. Thank you for the live. So it's bysarahlondon.com. 20% discount on the single products. Doesn't work on the bundles because they're already discounted, but your single products. And you mentioned there that Lauren was answering questions. If people do have questions, what's the best way to contact you? Do you do sort of message on Instagram or?
Exactly. Drop us a DM at By Sarah London.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you so much. Lovely to see you. I'm so glad that we got there in the end. And could hear
Thank you, Liz.
and see you.
Lovely to speak with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. You're going to have to click the little button, otherwise I click everybody off. Oh, so interesting. Seriously, I love the facial oil. You know me. I love oils. Oils are really, really, really good for the skin, especially at the moment. Very seasonally good if you are living in the northern hemisphere in Europe, perhaps. You're not having such cold weather if you're watching me globally in a warmer place, but seriously, this is great. Overnight facial oil, or use it in the morning as well. But the moisture mask, if you want to try one thing, okay, this is my recommendation, my personal one. It's the Save Your Moisture Mask. Really, really good. I'm going to be using it twice a day. I'm going to use it in the morning at the moment, and I'm going to use it all over my face. I'm going to take it right down over my neck as well, and I'm going to use it on the backs of my hands. So there we go. That was very, very good. Loved that. Thank you, Sarah, and lots of love to you, Lauren, as well. Thanks for answering so many questions. Just before I go, last little recap. I know that as we head towards the end of January, gosh, it's a long month, isn't it? And many of you have been stepping up your fitness routine and looking at what you eat and trying to kind of shed all the excess that we had at the end of last year. A couple of brands just to tell you about very quickly, because there is a last chance with GP Nutrition. This is Gabrielle Peacock. Now, Gabriella Peacock is an amazing nutrition brand, and we had the CEO, Elizabeth, who joined us not that long ago, talking about the Advanced Cleanse Blend. And this is a green blend, and it is truly amazing. It's got things like broccoli powder, barley grass, wheatgrass, beetroot powder, spirulina. I mean, it's really, really good. It's very green, but it tastes nice. Yeah, it really does taste nice. And in fact, I'm trying to get my kids to eat more greens, especially Kit, as you probably know from my Instagram. So if you're watching Kit, this has been coming your way. I hope you are using it. He's away at uni. Just a teaspoon. You can add it to a smoothie or water or whatever. Really, really good. But they've given us 35% off, which is super generous. So thank you. If you want to stock up on anything from Gabriella Peacock, now is your time. because that ends at the end of January. After then, we will be able to give you 15% off with Gabriella Peacock using your Liz Loves, but right now it's 35%, so go and check that out. The other one that I really love is Ingenious Beauty, my collagen, talking about plump, smooth skin. These are my little collagen capsules, and they have a really good newer product, which is their fitness blend, which has not only the astaxanthin and the collagen in it, but also has special herbs that help to increase muscle recovery and fitness. So if you're doing a bit of a fitness drive, if you're loving your collagen, if you're loving your collagen capsules, you might want to switch to the Ingenious Beauty Fitness Blend. That's the one with the yellow cap, because that has all those other added extras into it. And we do have 20% off, which is good because it is quite pricey, but it is something I genuinely take. You know, when I'm paring down my routine, thinking, what shall I cut back on? I never cut back on this. This is the collagen that I take all the time. Now that is it for today. Tomorrow, if you're watching me in real time, being Friday, is a key day here at Earle Wellbeing, because we have our newsletter that goes live at tea time every Friday. So if you want to receive that, just make sure that your name is on the list. We don't spam you, we don't sell your data for marketing, we don't do any of that. And you just sign up for the newsletter and it comes out at about 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock maybe, on a Friday afternoon, ready for the weekend. And there is a great competition, okay? So if you're new and haven't yet signed up, sign up to the newsletter, because it gives you the chance to be entered for free in a prize draw to win a hamper full of my favourite Liz Loves things, worth over £1,300. Yeah, it's an amazing, amazing prize. And somebody has to win it. So, you got to be in it to win it, as they say. Sign up to the newsletter and you will be in with a chance. That's at lizarwellbeing.com. And of course, being Friday, there is also a brand new episode of the Earle Wellbeing Show podcast, which will go live. So I hope you enjoy that. I will be back with you on Tuesday for another live. So I'm really looking forward to that. But in the meantime, if we don't speak before then, have a lovely weekend. Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy the rest of today. And I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.